Chapter 71 Fighting for Dinner. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Song Hongming was preparing to let the 4-star teams play first, but he couldn't find a suitable reason. After all, once or twice is okay. How can someone let someone play first every time? Who doesn't know that playing first can do more harm than good and affect your performance? But I didn't expect Chen He to jump out on his own initiative. It was like a roundworm in his stomach. He couldn't help laughing. Since you 4-star teams want to play first, how can I object? Hurry up and turn on all the lights in the square, so as not to affect everyone's normal performance. Kacha kacha kacha. It was already past 8 o'clock in the evening. Even in summer, the night was gradually shrouding the place. However, there was a sound of turning on the switch, and in an instant, dozens of fluorescent lamps all turned on, illuminating the entire Yida Plaza as if it were daytime. Generally, the darkness is quickly dispersed. The dozen or so strong men had already set up 3 movable basketball stands, the 4-meter line had been drawn, and they were just waiting for the game to start. Song Hongming's chubby face shone with excitement, and he was even happier than he was participating in the competition. In order to allow the contestants to maintain sufficient physical strength and mental strength to challenge the last 2 levels, I, Song Hongming, announce here that as long as they can successfully pass the 3rd level, they can enjoy free dinner, and each participating group will also be given 2 Shanghai. You can have a free meal at Tianda Hotel with this meal coupon. Boom! As soon as he said these words, the whole place became excited. Damn it, this reward is too rich, isn't it? It's just a huge hemorrhage. Yes, free dinner, and a free dining coupon for the Shanhaitian Hotel. That is a 5-star hotel. A meal costs at least several thousand. Why am I not so lucky? If I had known that the rewards would be so generous, I would have participated in today's competition and I would have definitely made it to the last level. Ouch, I wanted to participate, but I failed in the challenge. Countless people around him sighed, beat their chests, and regretted again and again. This is simply a mentality that I can do it if I change myself, and I have not considered the difficulty of these levels at all. Song Hongming blinked at Zhong Mo, Bai Lu, Chen He and Baby, and smiled deliberately and mischievously. You all heard it, right? As long as you can get through the 3rd level, there are many benefits. By the way, look at that. What is it? After saying this, he pointed to the side deliberately. Everyone looked in the direction of his finger, their eyes flashed with golden light and their mouths watered, because 8 big men were striding towards this side, each pushing a trolley. 7 of the trolleys hold 7 large thermal buckets, each with labels on them, such as rice, braised chicken, twice-cooked pork, dry-fried hairtail fish, oyster sauce, tender tofu and wolfberry fungus, stir-fried yam and seaweed and egg drop soup. On the 8th trolley is a large basket filled with countless fruits, which are more abundant than the fruits Zhong Mo bought in the afternoon. Let me go, Mr. Song, are you too rude? Why do you have to go through the 3rd level to enjoy dinner? Chen He's eyes were red, his mouth was drooling, and he asked angrily and loudly, although he had just eaten a lot of fruit. As a foodie, how could he resist the temptation of delicious food? Besides, fruit is fruit after all, and it doesn't make you hungry at all. How can it compare to big fish, big meat and fragrant rice? Bai Lu and Baby also deliberately pretended to be indignant and asked loudly, yes, we have passed 2 levels, why can't we enjoy dinner? This is not fair, protest. As a variety show star, how could you not know how to act on the spot? Besides, the 2 of them are indeed a little unbalanced. Song Hongming chuckled and said shamelessly, well, there is only one reason. I have only prepared meals for a dozen people. How about waiting for the contestants who have passed the 3rd level to finish eating, and if there is anything left, it will be yours. He had just heard the chat between Zhong Mo and the others, and he couldn't help but feel bursts of ecstasy. Zhong Mo and Chen He can't play basketball. Isn't this just left to your own devices? Others sit and you stand, others are eating while you watch. Should we give some other rewards to the contestants who pass the level? Anyway, it doesn't cost much money, and you can still see Zhong Mo deflated. This feels so good. Wow, huh? I, Song Hongming, am really a smart person. Is there anything left of this? Chen He, Bai Lu and baby smelled the tangy aroma of rice and swallowed, their faces full of depression. Everyone has been busy all afternoon, and everyone is hungry. How can there be any food left? And they know that their basketball skills are almost zero, so they don't even think about this dinner. Who would have thought that Song Hongming would hit him hard again? By the way, Chen He, what did you just say? Die early and be born early? Are you still going to eat cold skin? Then start quickly, don't delay you eating cold skin. That he also deliberately emphasized the word liangpi. Chen He couldn't help rolling his eyes wildly. Mr. Song, can you be a human being? I'm already very sad, that who would want to eat cold skin if they could have such delicious food? Isn't this a lack of money? Song Hongming laughed loudly. You guys start quickly. What if you are lucky and can really score 4 goals? Yes, my luck has always been very good. Chen He's eyes suddenly lit up, and then he nodded vigorously towards baby and said, we fought hard for this dinner. Baby looked at the fighting spirit that burst out of him instantly, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Shooting depends on skill, not morale. Chen He, how about you shoot all 10 balls? I've never had good luck, so don't hold you back. That she was afraid that Chen He would tear her alive when the time came. After all, in the eyes of a foodie, anyone who stops him from eating will be killed without mercy. I vote, baby, we have dinner today. Chen He patted his chest and strutted towards the white line. Wu Jin had good shooting skills and there was no panic on his face. He said hello to Zhou Mandy and walked over. Zhong Mo, do you have other hidden skills? Our black and white CP can't even pass the 3rd level, can we? Fried hair tail, I haven't eaten it for more than a month, I really want to eat it. That when Bai Lu said this, she couldn't help but touch her belly, her face full of envy. Although her stomach was full now, she felt hungry immediately after seeing the dish dry fried hairtail, because she has liked eating hairtail since she was a child. It hasn't changed in all these years. Zhong Mo looked at Bai Lu's greedy little look and couldn't help but give her a head pat with a gentle smile on his face. Although I can't play basketball, I've always been lucky. Just wait for the meal. After saying this, he quickly walked to the side of Wu Jin and Chen He and stood beside the white line. Luck, good luck. Is shooting based on luck? That when Bai Lu heard this, she was instantly dumbfounded. Chapter 72 You look so modest, you deserve a beating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wu Jin, Chen He, Zhong Mo. Who among the 3 can pass smoothly? I choose Wu Jin, Kung Fu Superstar YYDS. Does this need to be said? Brother Zhong admits that he is an otaku who likes to play video games and has never played basketball. It seems that the black and white CP is really going to fail this time. I didn't expect that Song Hongming would even add rewards, including a dinner and 2 free dining coupons for a 5-star hotel. It's just that this gimmick sounds good, but there will definitely be no more than 10 groups that can actually pass the test. Thinking about Brother Zhong's previous battle against the wild boar, but he ended up at the 3rd level. I have to say, this time I was so unlucky. No way, sometimes luck is also part of strength. Countless friends in the live broadcast room shook their heads and felt very sorry for Zhong Mo. But the competition is so cruel. Who makes Zhong Mo an otaku? Now everyone can only pray that he gets lucky and hits a goal or 2 by chance. Even if you lose, it won't be too ugly. Director's room. Zhao Kuang blinked and hesitated. Director Song, it seems that Zhong Mo's good luck is about to end. Even Ah admits that he has never played basketball. How can he hit 4 shots out of 10? However, his performance today has been quite good. The number of viewers in Live Room 81 has soared from 2 to 300 at the beginning to more than 300,000, and nearly 400,000, ranking in the top 20 on the popular list. After all, he is not a hexagonal warrior. He cannot be strong in all aspects. Song Min crossed her arms over her chest, pondered for a moment, and then slowly said, Is Zhong Mo okay? On site. Song Hongming also quickly came to the white line with a bright smile on his face, as if all the cells in his body were active, witnessed with my own eyes that Zhong Mo was brushed off in the 3rd level. Is there anything more exciting and thrilling than this? He had already taken out his mobile phone and clicked on the video recording function, preparing to take a picture of this sacred scene. 3 of you, are you ready? The 2-minute countdown is now, start. Song Hongming was so excited that he made a eunuch-like sound. Whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Jin had already thrown a basketball in his hand towards the basketball hoop in front of him. Bang. Hit. Brother Wu Jin, come on, brother Wu Jin, come on. Zhou Mandy clapped excitedly, blushed, and shouted loudly, Bai Lu, baby, and Zhao Jingmai all had a look of envy on their faces, but they all cheered for Zhong Mo and Chen He. Anyway, no matter whether the opponent can invest or not, he must not lose in terms of momentum. Watch me score a goal. When Chen He saw Wu Jin score a ball, he also had an envious look on his face, and he threw it over unwilling to be outdone. Dang 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 dang. As a result, the basketball was thrown directly away, a full 1.5 meters away from the basketball hoop. Ahem. Chen He's face was slightly red, and he explained with some embarrassment, well, I'll get familiar with the first ball first, and the second one is the real one that goes into the frame, score it for me. He picked up another basketball and threw it towards the basketball hoop, still didn't get in. My hand slipped just now, I will definitely get in this time. Still didn't get in. My eyes were dazzled just now, I guarantee I can get in this time. Still didn't get in. I just felt itchy on my right hand. This was purely an accident. Chen He threw it 6 times in total. Not to mention one hit, he didn't even touch the basketball hoop once. I'm not in my state today. Chen He almost collapsed. It's obviously easy to see other people shooting, why is it so difficult to do it yourself? On Wu Jin's side, it was a different situation. After he made the first ball, he made 4 more consecutive shots, hitting 3 times and failing once. This means that even if he misses the next 5 goals, he will still pass the test smoothly. Zhong Mo, hurry up and throw the ball, it's been more than 40 seconds. Song Hongming saw Zhong Mo standing there, holding a basketball in both hands, motionless, and couldn't help but remind him. Zhong Mo, as long as I'm with you, it won't be too embarrassing. Chen He thought Zhong Mo was worried about not being able to get in and being laughed at by others, so he couldn't help but offer words of comfort. Anyway, he is already ruined and doesn't have much hope at all. I just try to feel it first and then throw it. Zhong Mo smiled slightly, then his knees slightly bent, his whole body suddenly bounced up, and the basketball in his hand flew out. Bang! A ball into the frame. Wow, Zhong Mo, you are so awesome, come on, come on. Bai Lu didn't have any confidence in Zhong Mo just now, but she didn't expect that the other party would give her an unexpected surprise. She couldn't help but jump up and down, clapped her little hands, and cheered excitedly. Wu Jin and Chen He couldn't help but blinked, feeling that their brains were a little exhausted. Can't you play basketball? Do you get lucky every once in a while? However, they still nodded and encouraged. Zhong Mo, you did a good job, keep up the good work. Zhong Mo nodded, with the encouragement of Brother Ong and Brother Chen, I will definitely pass this time. Saying this, he picked up the second basketball and threw it towards the basketball hoop, hit. The third basketball, hit. The fourth basketball, hit. The fifth basketball, hit. Zhong Mo almost didn't pause, shot 10 times, and hit 10 times. Certainly, this is just a shot from outside the 4-meter line, which is relatively easy. If it were a regular basketball game, Zhong Mo's shooting percentage would be much lower. After all, his shooting skills are only accurate. This time, not only Wu Jin and Chen He, but everyone present was completely shocked. Is this called not being able to play basketball? Who are you trying to fool? Holy crap, 100% hit rate, what else can he not do? I want to ask everyone. I thought this young man would definitely be demoted at this level, but I didn't expect him to be the king. It's such a shame. Young man, you look so humble and deserve a beating. He is a perfect match for my granddaughter. If anyone lends me a rope, I will kidnap him. Get in the car first, and then buy a ticket. that the countless spectators at the scene immediately made thunderous noises, and various discussions continued. Wu Jin deliberately showed a bitter smile on his face. Zhong Mo, I knew you didn't tell the truth, but you lied to me. I'm very hurt, I want to cry, you are too bullying. Although he was extremely shocked inside, he was still happy that Zhong Mo could pass the third level, but how can a variety show be ineffective? Zhong Mo shrugged his shoulders, spread his hands, and said innocently, Brother An, I swear to God, I have never played basketball, but I have liked throwing things since I was a child, so my hit rate is a bit high. I can't play basketball, but I can throw things. You are so weird, Wu Jin stared, thinking that Zhong Mo's awkward posture when shooting just now did not look like he had played basketball, and he almost cursed, where did this monster come from? Chapter 73 You Are Mine. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhong Mo was about to answer when he suddenly felt a faint voice coming from the left. Zhong Mo, I'm very sad, you know. We obviously agreed to eat cold skin together, but I didn't expect you to want to have a big meal. Are you worthy of my infatuation for you? Believe it or not, I will find a rope and hang it on a tree with a crooked neck, and then left a last word, saying that you are a big scumbag and betrayed me in order to climb a high branch. When Zhong Mo heard this, 3 black lines appeared on his forehead, and the corners of his mouth twitched hard several times. Brother Chen, it's just a dinner, is this necessary? My sexual orientation is normal. He turned his head and looked at Chen He's expression of a resentful woman in the boudoir. He couldn't help but smile bitterly. Brother Chen, I just told you that I was very lucky today, but you didn't listen at all. Can you blame me? But who knew you were so lucky? Isn't it too perverted? Chen He stamped his feet exaggeratedly, waved his hands vigorously a few times, and shouted loudly, You have all passed the test, who should I treat to some cold skin? How about you eat some cold skin later, and I will help you eat a big meal. Although he was a little surprised and a little disappointed, he was not a loser. Besides, Zhong Mo's strength wasn't just once or twice, he was used to it. Brother Chen, I won't just watch you eat cold skin. Zhong Mo looked at him with an emotional expression and nodded vigorously. Zhong Mo, you are the best to me. Chen He was so moved. I will close my eyes and eat fried hairtail, twice-cooked pork, braised chicken, tender tofu in oyster sauce, stir-fried yam with wolfberry and fungus, drink seaweed and egg drop soup, eat fruit, and silently envy you in my heart. Zhong Mo, you can't be too shameless. Chen He raised his head with a look of grief on his face. Song Hongming was already numb at this time. Why is it so difficult to brush off the clock ink? Could he be the nemesis in his life? Fortunately, I didn't add any other rewards just now, otherwise, this guy would be at an advantage. What else could he do? He could only grin and smile at Zhong Mo. Zhong Mo, I didn't expect your shooting skills to be so superb. It really surprised me. By the way, Wu Jin, Chen He, you still have the last 25 seconds, hurry up. Both Wu Jin and Chen He's expressions changed drastically. Just now, I was only amazed at Zhong Mo's abnormal shooting skills, and forgot that I still had a few balls left to shoot. The 2 of them quickly shot out the remaining basketballs. Wu Jin only scored 2 of the next 5 goals. He was obviously hit by Zhong Mo and his mood was already in chaos. However, he scored 6 out of 10 goals, and his results were quite good, and he passed the test smoothly. Chen He actually scored 1 of the next 4 goals, saving some face, but he didn't pass the test. Wow, Zhong Mo, I knew you were very powerful, ha 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 ha. As soon as Zhong Mo, Chen He and Wu Jin returned, Bai Lu opened her arms, hooked his arm, and jumped up and down excitedly. She looked like a silly big girl without any idle baggage, but Zhong Mo felt uncomfortable. He felt the 2 balls of soft flesh on Bai Lu's chest constantly rubbing against his chest, and the other person's mouth opened slightly, spitting out streams of fragrance, which almost started the fire. Doesn't this little girl know how charming she is? He quickly pulled Bai Lu off his body, then clamped his legs and glared at her deliberately. Isn't it just fried hairtail? You don't have to be so excited, right? Be careful, Brother Chen will stew you, the dear. Bai Lu looked down and glanced secretly. her pink face turned slightly red, her heartbeat suddenly accelerated, but she was still a little happy. How could she not know how seductive her action just now was? But Zhao Jingmai's sudden appearance put a lot of pressure on her. In order to prevent Zhong Mo from being abducted by Zhao Jingmai, she naturally had to reward her boyfriend from time to time. I'm just happy for a moment. Who knew you said you couldn't play basketball, but you're so good at shooting. Bai Lu deliberately held her head high, pretending to have an innocent and pitiful expression, and even her voice had a slight tone. Speak nicely. Zhong Mo's face was dark and his scalp felt numb. Bai Lu also knows that enough is enough. If it goes too far, it will easily arouse the disgust of the majority of water friends. She deliberately put on a feminine attitude, with her left hand on her hips and her right hand on Zhong Mo's shoulder. She laughed exaggeratedly. Zhong Mo, follow my sister and you will have meat to eat. Tonight, our black and white CP will definitely. I want to defeat the entire competition, dominate Li City, and be powerful in the world. Wow, haha. She also raised her head, looking like an imageless female ruffian. Lu, you look really nice when you smile, but I suggest you stop smiling next time. Zhong Mo joked deliberately. Zhong Mo, do you want to die? Dare you laugh at me? Bai Lu's eyes widened immediately, she glared at him fiercely, and then she waved him desperately with her two little hands. Oh, heroine, please spare my life, I don't dare to do it anymore. Zhong Mo let out a shrill scream again. The soft flesh of Zhong Mo's waist was pinched more than 10 times, and his ears were pulled more than 10 times. In the end, he had a crying face, like a wilted eggplant, which was in sharp contrast to Bai Lu, who was refreshed and high-spirited. Zhong Mo, congratulations on passing the 3rd level. Zhao Jingmai walked over and showed a sweet and gentle smile to Zhong Mo. But after the mineral water incident just now, she didn't dare to do anything too extreme in front of so many cameras. If there were no cameras, it would be hard to say. Zhong Mo was about to speak when he suddenly felt a pain in his left hand. He lowered his head and glanced at it, only to find that Bai Lu secretly pulled his left hand and hid it behind him, avoiding the cameras, but her nails had already sunk into his flesh. This little girl is jealous. Why is it me who is suffering? Zhong Mo, Mai is talking to you, why don't you pay attention to her? Bai Lu tilted her head and gave Zhong Mo a hypocritical smile, full of tea. The corners of Zhong Mo's mouth twitched a few times without a trace. If it weren't for the dog system, would he be caught between two women? System, if you don't want it, you can refuse. Zhong Mo, I'm just talking casually. Zhong Mo quickly smiled at Zhao Jingmai. Miss Zhao, I'm just lucky for a while. Zhao Jingmai nodded at the two of them and turned to walk towards the others. Zhong Mo immediately found that Bai Lu let go of him and secretly breathed a sigh of relief, but just when he thought that the days were peaceful, his cell phone suddenly rang. He took out his cell phone and found that it was Zhao Jingmai who sent him a message. Bai Lu couldn't help but be curious and came over. Then the two of them changed their faces, because the message was very simple, with only 4 words, you are mine. Chapter 74. Do you want to get it for free? You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is a formal declaration of war on Bai Lu. Bai Lu's face paled instantly, and her delicate body trembled slightly. What a bully. I've seen people robbing money and things, but this is the first time I've seen someone robbing a man. She was about to get angry when Zhong Mo gently squeezed his little hand and deliberately said, Lu, did you see it? Sister Mimi said that I performed well today and sent me a big red envelope. You didn't, right? Are you jealous and envious? Do you want me to kill you? While saying this, he quickly put the phone back into his pocket. When Bai Lu heard what he said, she quickly calmed down. Now live. Could it be that he had a fight with Zhao Jingmai and called the other party shameless in front of hundreds of thousands or even millions of water friends, and was he a bitchy? If things really get that bad, the reputations of the 3 people will really be ruined. This is a proper killing of 1,000 enemies and 1,000 losses of oneself. After thinking about this, Bai Lu took a deep breath and gave Zhong Mo a big eye roll. Zhong Mo, do you want half of everything? What if I want everything? Boom! That when Zhong Mo heard Bai Lu's words, he felt like his brain exploded instantly. she had something else to say, or she saw that her relationship with Zhao Jingmai was unusual. This is a declaration of sovereignty. He rolled his eyes and smiled coquettishly. It's just a red envelope, all for you. After saying this, he took out his mobile phone again and sent Bai Lu a red envelope. 66 cents. Bai Lu took out her phone and was shocked when she saw the amount of the red envelope. Even if it's just acting, isn't this too careless? She shook the phone interface toward the camera a few times and said mockingly, did you see it? The red envelope given out by Zhong Mo is 60 cents. This is a man. Before the CP, he said he would be nice to me. But what happens after the CP is formed? You think I should braise it, steam it, or just sprinkle some cumin and chili powder on it and have a barbecue? Thinking of the unclear relationship between Zhong Mo and Zhao Jingmai, Bai Lu felt angry and sad. After 2 years of hard work, I finally made a name for myself in the entertainment industry. However, in order to wait for him, I rejected the confessions of more than a dozen men. But what about him? After just one meeting with Zhao Jingmai, the other person was fascinated by him and openly challenged him. Although he looks innocent, if he hadn't been so good, how could he have become like this? I feel so angry and hateful that I want to bite someone. She really wanted to grab Zhong Mo and ask him what was going on with Zhao Jingmai, but now facing millions of water friends, she could only bury this idea deep in her heart, but the look in her eyes was like a knife. Still scratching on Zhong Mo's body. Gudong. Zhong Mo felt a chill down his spine, and the cold air from his feet rushed straight to his brain, and he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Lu, besides fried hairtail, what else do you want to eat? I'll grab it for you in a minute. Hee. Bai Lian expressionlessly sneered twice. Zhong Mo deliberately sighed deeply, took out the 600 yuan he had just earned from his pocket, stuffed it into Bai Lu's hand, and said reluctantly, Lu, these are my hard-earned money, please save it. Use. That's pretty much it. Bai Lu also raised her head in cooperation, smiled proudly, and deliberately counted the money several times in front of him. Dare to flirt with women and show mercy everywhere. Believe it or not, I will drain you dry first. Live broadcast room. Actually, I should have guessed it earlier. What else can be difficult for a hexagonal warrior like Brother Zhong to stop him? Heaven and earth, why can Brother Zhong know everything, but I can't do anything? I'm sorry, I lowered the average level of men across the country. I reflect, I feel ashamed, I want to eat too, I'm hungry. Actually, from a professional point of view, Brother Zhong's shooting posture is indeed very amateurish, so he is not telling lies. He does not know how to play basketball, but his shooting percentage is almost the same as that of professional basketball players. Isn't this weird? I admit that Brother Zhong is very strong in all aspects, but, you actually gave Lu Bao a 60-cent red envelope. Do you still want a wife? Isn't this too stingy? Lu Bao, open your eyes and see it's clear that Zhong Mo is a stingy guy. If you have no future with him, you should choose me. I will give you a red envelope of 200 yuan every day. Upstairs, Lu Bao makes tens of millions from filming every year. Do you need your 200 red envelopes? But Brother Zhong is really stingy. I will draw a circle and despise him. Lu Bao finally revealed the true colors of countless men. Before chasing you, they gave you all kinds of exquisite gifts and greetings. After chasing you, they didn't even look at you. Sure enough, men are all big pigs, and my husband is the same. My husband too. Countless fans marveled at Zhong Mo's superb shooting skills, while secretly despising his stinginess, picking up girls for free. Do you want to have sex for free? Director's room. Song Min and Zhao Quan looked at each other and said in unison, Zhong Mo is definitely not a human being. On site. While Zhong Mo and Bai Lu were talking, other contestants also started to challenge the third level. Deng Chao has good shooting skills, hitting 6 out of 10 times, which is the same level as Wu Jin. But other contestants who have rarely been exposed to basketball want to make 4 shots, which is no less than winning a 5 million lottery ticket. The last 7 groups of contestants successfully passed the test, and the remaining 13 groups were all eliminated. if we add the three groups of Zhong Mo Bailu, Deng Chao, Zhang Yuqi and Wu Jin Zhou Mandi, there are only 10 groups of contestants left. Song Hongming immediately asked the etiquette lady to take out a stack of 100 yuan bills and give them to the 10 groups of contestants, 5,000 yuan each, and 2 free meal coupons for Shanhaitian Hotel. This made the contestants who failed the previous challenge jealous. The first and second levels added up to only 600 yuan, but the third level reached 5,000 yuan. It is equivalent to a month's salary for many ordinary people. Why am I not the winner? Song Hongming then arranged for everyone to have a meal, although Song Hongming said that he only prepared meals for a dozen people. In fact, he prepared a lot of meals, so everyone looked at the food in front of them and was dumbfounded. Have you ever seen 3 servings of rice per person, a plate of twice-cooked pork, a plate of dry fried hairtail, a plate of braised chicken, a plate of oyster sauce tender tofu, a plate of fried yam with wolfberry and black fungus, and a bowl of seaweed egg drop soup? As for fruits, each person had a small fruit basket with all kinds of fruits, about 6 or 7 pounds, not to mention Bai Lu and the other girls. Even Zhong Mo and the other boys couldn't eat so much food. Zhong Mo looked up and looked at Song Hongming with a smile on his face, and instantly understood. Competition rules: only contestants who pass the third level are eligible to eat. But there is no rule that you can't share your food with others. This is Song Hongming's real purpose. Although he was a little indignant that Zhong Mo had stolen his limelight and wanted to eliminate him, it was mostly a matter of anger. How could he play dirty tricks on such a small matter? Zhong Mo figured this out, and then told others about his ideas, inviting Chen He, Baby, Zhao Jingmai and 9 cameramen to have dinner together. Wu Jin and the others had a good relationship, and they were thinking about how to help Chen He and the others, so how could they refuse? Chen He and Baby were originally going to eat cold noodles, but they didn't expect to get a free meal, and they cheered excitedly. Zhao Jingmai wanted to refuse, but Bai Lu took her hand and whispered a few words, and she agreed. The 9 cameramen didn't expect that they would have a share, and they looked at Zhong Mo with a little more gratitude, so the 18 of them divided into 2 tables and began to enjoy this hard-earned dinner. Of course, Zhong Mo called Yi Zixin in advance. The interview and beef noodles this afternoon were cancelled. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Although Yi Zixin was a little dissatisfied, she thought that they were participating in the competition now, so she could only agree. Hey, I remember there were 10 of us, how could one person be missing? No. Aren't they all here? Oh, I remembered it wrong. Chapter 75 Online Exposure begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pa. 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 Qin Ziyu hid in the crowd, slapping the mosquitoes on his arms, and said indignantly, Zhong Mo, Wu Jin, Chen He, Deng Chao, you are so cruel that you didn't even invite me to dinner. Humph, I don't care, what kind of pig food is that? I won't eat it even if it's given to me for free. Gurgle. But before he finished speaking, his stomach had already made a protesting cry. Cameraman Ding Kue looked at the other 9 cameramen with envy, then looked at Qin Ziyu, and couldn't help rolling his eyes. How did he get into this? It's really a bad luck. But Qin Ziyu didn't notice Ding Kue's rolling eyes at all. Instead, he looked at Zhong Mo and his group with a resentful look, thinking that it was because of Zhong Mo's appearance that others isolated him. If it weren't for Zhong Mo, he would definitely be the most beautiful in the audience, liked by Deng Chao and others, and embarked on the road to the top from then on. But what about now? He just slipped his tongue and made a small mistake, and he became a rat crossing the street. Everyone shouted and beat him, and he might even be hidden by Yang Mi. Thinking of this, his eyes rolled around, and he showed a miserable expression to the camera, sighing, I just didn't expect that. I just said a few fair words for the wild boar, but someone would hate me, and even incite others to do it to me. But I don't regret it, because every time I see those little animals wandering around and rummaging through the trash cans, I hate myself for being incompetent and unable to give them a warm home. Speaking of deep affection, his eyes were red, and a few tears almost flowed out. Ding Kue's face suddenly changed. He didn't expect Qin Ziyu to want to buy misery in exchange for fans' support, and even intensify fans' hostility towards Zhong Mo, Deng Chao and others. Isn't this too despicable? What did you do at that time? Don't you have any idea in your mind? He wanted to stop it, but he was just a cameraman and had no right to do so. He could only report the matter to the crew. Qin Ziyu's words still set off a storm in the live broadcast room. Although the number of fans in his live broadcast room has dropped from more than 100,000 to 40,000 or 50,000, there are still some crazy fans. They were immediately moved to tears and were extremely excited by Qin Ziyu's words. All. Why is Ziyu Gij such a good person, but he is isolated by Zhong Mo and others? It's so unfair. Is it jealousy that makes people crazy? That's right, I just think Zhong Mo is rude and selfish, hypocritical, flattering, violent and barbaric. Everyone clearly saw him abusing wild boars, but they all turned a blind eye. Only our Ziyu Gij dared to speak out for justice, but he was targeted. Is there still justice in this world? The person above, don't you know? Zhong Mo is Demimi's distant younger brother, with a strong background, and all the stars speak for him. Ziyu Gij is just an ordinary artist, how can he compare with others? Dark curtains, the current entertainment industry is too dirty, right? It's simply unbearable to look at. I suggest that everyone unite and ban Zhong Mo. Actually, Zhong Mo is a good person. He was speaking for Ziyu before, but Ziyu turned around and pitted Zhong Mo. He was wrong first. Where did this little Karami come from? How dare he say that our Ziyu was a coward? Who is Zhong Mo? He was cowarding our Ziyu, which was a chance for him to show off. How could he join others to coward our Ziyu? Steamed shrimp head. That's right, if you are not a fan of Ziyu, get out. Countless Qin Ziyu's brainless fans roared angrily, like a tiger descending from the mountain, roaring in the mountains, and shaking the world. They scolded Zhong Mo and others. Some ordinary viewers wanted to say something fair, but they were scolded to pieces and embarrassed. The number of viewers was instantly reduced by half. The earth is dangerous, and brainless fans are even more dangerous. For your own safety, stay away from brainless fans. Qin Ziyu saw that countless fans began to speak for him, madly insulting Zhong Mo and others, and even comforted the women in their families. This made him feel ecstatic, and he started to talk nonsense again, describing himself as a person who was bullied everywhere and dared not speak for justice. However, Zhong Mo relied on his status to bully newcomers, and had unspoken rules with female artists in the company, making Jiuli a mess. Moreover, Zhong Mo and several female stars, Zhang Yuqi, had improper relationships between men and women. His remarks made countless brain-dead fans indignant. They all had red eyes and waved their fists, wishing to use their mobile phones as bricks and smash them on the heads of Zhong Mo and others. Director's room, Zhao Kuang stumbled over and shouted in panic, "Director Song, something happened, something big happened." Song Min raised her eyebrows slightly and said very impolitely, "Zhao Kuang, Zhong Mo and the others are having dinner now, what big thing happened? Can't you let me relax a little bit? It's Qin Ziyu, he just talked nonsense to countless fans." Zhao Kuang quickly told the story. What? Is he crazy? Song Min's face darkened, he slammed the table, stood up, and said angrily, "Did he forget the content of the original contract? Do you believe that I will terminate the contract with him? Let him stop the live broadcast temporarily. I will call Yang Mi." Yes. On the scene, Zhong Mo and his friends were in a harmonious and happy atmosphere, and they had no idea of Qin Ziyu's tricks behind their backs. After dinner, they rested for more than 10 minutes, and it was already past 9 o'clock in the evening. Although it is not early now, because the weather is very hot, more and more people come to Yida Plaza to enjoy the cool and join in the fun. From a distance, it is crowded and lively, with as many as 7,000 or 8,000 people. Song Hongming had a simple dinner and walked onto the stage with a microphone, with a brighter smile on his face. Is everyone full? Full, everyone laughed. Song Hongming took out a few coupons from his pocket with his right hand and said with a smile, "I just had a sudden idea. If I don't increase the reward a little, the competitiveness doesn't seem to be very strong, so I decided that contestants who pass the 4th level can stay in Shanhaitian Hotel for free for 3 days. This is the free accommodation ticket. Do you want it? Boom! As soon as he said this, the nest exploded immediately. What? You can stay in a 5-star hotel for free for 3 days. Isn't this a generous reward? Don't forget, this is the 4th level, and you can get 20,000 if you pass it successfully. Song Hongming is too generous, isn't he? If I had known this, I would have signed up to participate. Yes, if I can make it to the 4th level, the reward will be awesome. That the crowd at the scene wailed again, regretting their intestines. Who would have thought that Song Hongming would increase the reward without martial ethics? Despise him, ridicule him, and curse him with somersaults. Deng Chao and his companions were delighted at first, then their faces changed slightly, and they asked cautiously, Mr. Kai, what is the 4th level? It must not be too easy, right? The rich rewards also indicate that the challenge will be more difficult. The 4th level is, tearing off the name tag. Song Hongming deliberately blinked his eyes and answered loudly. Chapter 76, Horror Version of Name Tag Tearing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhong Mo and the others were stunned for a moment, then all turned their heads and looked at Deng Chao, Chen He, Baby and Bai Lu, tear off famous brands. Isn't this a famous scene in Run, brother? Who can beat these 4 veterans? Deng Chao deliberately raised his head, put on an arrogant face, and laughed. Mr. Song, are you sure you are right? You haven't heard of my name, right? I, Deng Chao, am the author of Run, brother. The veteran team members inside have experienced hundreds of battles and are marching forward bravely. They have defeated countless opponents in my hands. You are obviously letting yourself go. Zhong Mo also deliberately clasped his fists towards Bai Lu and said sincerely, Teacher Bai, the next level depends on you. The anti-Japanese war drama is about ripping off the Japanese with your hands. You represent our black and white CP and tear them all off. Bai Lu also rolled up his sleeves in cooperation and laughed loudly. Zhong Mo, the previous few lights have made you scream. Now it's my turn for Bai Lu to show up. Isn't it just a few mung bean sprouts? I, Bai Lu, can tear up 10 pieces in a minute. Individual. Chen He and Baby, however, were beating their chests and their faces were full of sorrow. Mr. Song, you are too ignorant of martial ethics, aren't you? It's so easy to tear off famous brands, how can it be the 4th level? If it is the 3rd level, the 2 of us we will definitely be able to pass the test successfully, and we will definitely be the first. The top 3, we will also pass the test, we will also pass the test. They originally wanted to take 1st place, but when they thought about Kung Fu star Wu Jin and monstrous Hung Zhong Mo, they were instantly intimidated. Wu Jin and Zhou Mandy looked at them acting crazy and dancing wildly. They couldn't help but exclaimed, aren't you just ripping off famous brands? Why do you feel like you are on stimulants? This is tearing off a famous brand. The famous scene in Run, brother is simply a score test. Chen He shook his fist twice and shouted with grief and anger. Send points. Song Hongming, who was not far away, laughed sinisterly. I have watched several seasons of your show Run, brother. It is indeed very interesting, but the name brand ripping in it is a bit childish. My name brand ripping is a super magic reform, right? It's definitely not a sub-question, but a proposition. Otherwise, how could it be the 4th level? Gudong. Chen He swallowed his saliva, turned a little pale, and stammered, Old Deng, why do I feel like this guy is full of bad ideas? Look at the levels he came up with, are they the ones that a normal person would come up with? Deng Chao also looked timid and nodded repeatedly. I think there is a big pit here. Song Hongming laughed triumphantly. My tearing off name tags is very different from yours. There are a few rules. First, the competition is divided into 2 rounds. In each round, 5 groups of players stand in the designated circle. Regardless of boys or girls, as long as they leave the circle, they will lose. Second, the time limit is 5 minutes. If there are more than 4 people in the circle within the specified time, everyone will lose. Third, if a boy carries a girl on his back from beginning to end, if any part of the girl's body touches the ground, she loses. Fourth, boys must sing from beginning to end. Once they stop, they lose, he said 4 rules in a row, and there were gasps from all over the place. The same is true for tearing off famous brands. How can Song Hongming be regarded as a magic reformer? It's simply a horror version of tearing off famous brands. Isn't it right? Tearing off name tags behind a girl's back. And singing, and there are so many restrictions. This. Deng Chao was stunned for a moment, even though he is a veteran player in Run, Brother, and has a lot of experience and skills in tearing off name tags, but faced with this kind of tearing off name tags, he instantly feels that his advantages are running out. Chen he couldn't help but glance at Baby and stammered, if I carry a girl on my back, I can't last 5 minutes even if I don't tear off the name tag. Isn't this too difficult? Bai Lu patted Zhong Mo on the shoulder and laughed deliberately and arrogantly, Brother Chao, Brother He, have you noticed? This level of tearing off the name tag is obviously tailor-made for Zhong Mo and me. I am responsible for tearing off the name tag. He is responsible for carrying me, perfect. Why is this happening? Jealousy, jealousy, jealousy. Deng Chao and Chen he deliberately beat their chests and roared loudly. Zhong Mo and Bai Lu burst out laughing. Wu Jin stroked his forehead with his left hand and said with a distressed look on his face, one game will drive 2 of us crazy. You guys will definitely be on the front page tomorrow. It's hard to imagine whether you will be popular or not. Zhou Mandy, however, covered her mouth and smiled sweetly. Seeing everyone laughing and joking, she felt much happier. The choice I just made was really wise. Song Hongming blinked and looked at Zhong Mo and Bai Lu. Are you deliberately favoring them? Isn't it? I just want to increase the difficulty and make the competition more intense. Zhong Mo's luck won't be that good this time, right? This guy is so evil. But the words have been said, and I can't think of adding more rules for a while. Girls can't be allowed to carry boys on their backs, right? That's too much nonsense. He could only bite the bullet and spoke to them. Since you all know the rules, I won't say any more nonsense. There are 5 teams in each round, a total of 2 rounds. You decide the order by drawing lots. The first round it's the 1st to 5th group, and the second round is the 6th to 10th group. Naturally, everyone had no problem with his decision. Next, everyone takes turns to draw lots. Zhong Mo caught the number 3, Deng Chao caught the number 5, and Wu Jin caught the number 8. This means that Zhong Mo will not only face the other 3 groups of couples this time, but also the couple Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi. Deng Chao's eyes widened in an instant, and he knelt on the ground in deliberate fear, raised his hands high, and shouted, Oh my God, why did you let me encounter Zhong Mo Bai Lu? This is not to kill me. Pushed to a dead end, Zhang Yuqi also stared at Zhong Mo with a pair of beautiful eyes, and said angrily, Zhong Mo Bai Lu, I don't want to sleep in that shabby house tonight, I want to stay in a 5-star hotel. If you dare to let us lose, I'll kick you. Wu Jin and Zhou Mandy couldn't help but let out a long sigh of relief. In fact, when the lots were drawn just now, they were very nervous. They are not afraid at all when meeting other opponents, they are just afraid of meeting someone like Zhong Mo. Zhong Mo has already passed 3 levels in a row with the best results. His fighting power is so fierce that he will die if he gets bumped or get hurt if he rubs against him. Who dares to challenge him? Zhong Mo couldn't help but smile bitterly and said, Sister Yuqi, in addition to our 2 groups, there are 3 other groups of contestants. Don't think that I am so strong, okay? Haven't you heard that masters are among the people? I think we are still be careful and don't capsize in the gutter. As long as you don't cause any trouble. Zhang Yuqi held her head high and answered with confidence. She had just been staring at the contestants from other groups. She had some strength, but compared with Zhong Mo, there was still a big gap. At this moment, Su Kong suddenly walked up to Zhong Mo and whispered a few words in his ear. Zhong Mo's expression suddenly changed, his fists clenched tightly, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Chapter 77 Public Opinion Storm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhong Mo didn't expect Qin Ziyu to be so heartbroken and crazy. Slander others in the live broadcast room and set yourself up as a poor person who is isolated and bullied. You are seeking death, do you understand? Zhang Yuqi and others saw that Zhong Mo's expression was wrong, and they hurriedly asked, Zhong Mo, what happened? An apologetic smile appeared on Zhong Mo's face. Brother Deng, Brother Ong, Brother Chen, Sister Yuqi, Mandy, my, sister baby, I'm really sorry that you got scolded because of me. Are you scolded? What's going on? Everyone was slightly stunned and asked hurriedly. Zhong Mo quickly repeated what Su Kong said to himself. What? How could Qin Ziyu do this? Everyone was completely shocked. How many kilograms of fake wine do you have to drink to make such shameless remarks? However, Deng Chao and others were not angry, but rather dumbfounded. It felt like children were playing house. If Qin Ziyu were a top-tier artist or a first-tier celebrity, these words would definitely have some impact on them. However, Qin Ziyu has only been out for 2 years and can barely be considered a 4th-tier or 5th-tier artist with average popularity and no works. Just say a few words and want to throw dirty water on yourself. Isn't this too small of oneself? After all, Deng Chao and the others have been in the entertainment industry for many years. What monsters and ghosts have they not seen before? A mere little Karami can't really make any trouble. Deng Chao grinned and smiled softly at the camera. Some people say that I received Zhong Mo's black money, and some people say that Zhong Mo and I have a ploy transaction. I have to say, this idea is quite strange, and I started to tremble. I'm afraid that my wife will hear this gossip and get angry and make me kneel on the washboard. I would like to make a simple statement here. This is the first time Zhong Mo and I met this afternoon. We have never met before. Why am I so nice to him? Mainly because I like him, and also, I see the entertainment industry from Zhong Mo, the sincerity, hard work, struggle and courage of the newcomers to challenge themselves. If every newcomer in the entertainment industry is like Zhong Mo and works down to earth, I believe that the entertainment industry will have more good works. That friend who ruined Zhong Mo and I's reputation, I will ask a lawyer to send a lawyer's letter to you for your nonsense. Zhang Yuqi didn't mince words when she spoke. She asked loudly towards the camera, Qin Ziyu, who saw that Zhong Mo and I had an affair. We just met this afternoon, and then we all participated in the competition together. Does it mean that he and I do that kind of thing in front of millions of viewers? I think you should stop being a star and just write a novel. I just like Zhong Mo. What's the matter? Zhong Mo is more handsome than you. He is a better conductor than you, a better singer than you, and more upright than you. Compared with him, you are far behind, even his heels. No. Are you still here blaming us for isolating you? You don't blame yourself, but you blame us instead. If nothing else, I will also ask a lawyer to issue a lawyer's letter. If you ruin Zhong Mo's and mine's reputation, I will sue you until you go bankrupt. Chen He and others were not to be outdone, and they all faced the camera and expressed their feelings. Originally, the scope of this matter was very small, just Qin Ziyu's live broadcast room, but after the publicity of these people, it instantly caused a thunder in the entertainment industry and attracted great attention from countless people. Damn it, what are they talking about? Why can't I understand something? I know the ins and outs of the matter. Just now Qin Ziyu was talking nonsense in his live broadcast room, saying that Zhong Mo teamed up with several other celebrities to isolate him and bully him. He also said that Zhong Mo covered the sky with one hand and carry and bullied newcomers. Unspoken rules for female stars wait. It's also said that Zhong Mo, Bai Lu, Zhao Jingmai, Zhang Yuqi and several female celebrities were slept together, and the process was very exciting, etc. Fuck, isn't it? Does anyone believe such nonsense? Do you have an IQ of more than 2? Anyway, I don't believe it, but Qin Ziyu's idiot fans believe it, and they want to unite to collectively block and punish Zhong Mo. I have to say that some people's brains are worse than pig brains. Do crazy fans have IQ? Anyone with an IQ is not a crazy fan. Many idiot fans were shocked by the whole story and felt that their outlook was shattered. If Zhong Mo is so awesome, how can he still be a little transparent after 2 years of debut and no one has heard of this name? But some idiot fans just believe every word they say, and they even call them true fans, on sight. Deng Chao and the others were very experienced in handling these matters. They first explained the matter to the water friends in the live broadcast room, and then asked his assistant to write a serious article on the scarf to explain the ins and outs of the matter. Finally, he hired a lawyer to ask Qin Ziyu go to court, don't say that they were cruel and did not leave Qin Ziyu any room for maneuver. The entertainment industry sometimes really eats people without spitting out their bones. If you are kind to him, he may not appreciate it. Instead, he will think you are easy to bully and will continue to step on you to improve himself next time. Besides, this time Qin Ziyu openly slandered Zhong Mo, which would definitely cause Yang Mi to be extremely dissatisfied. How could he not take revenge on this little calumny? I do this just to show an attitude. Song Hongming saw that they had finished handling their personal matters, and immediately laughed. Now that everyone is ready, let's invite the girls to put on brand name clothes, and our fourth level will start immediately. After saying this, the two etiquette ladies next to them were already walking towards them carrying more than a dozen pieces of clothing. These are all women's summer sportswear, simple and beautiful, and the price is definitely not cheap. There is a big name tag on the back of each piece, but it is not their name, but a series of very exaggerated emoticons, including smiley faces, grimaces, crying, naughty, angry, etc., which are very interesting and fun. Although Bai Lu, Zhang Yuqi and Zhou Mandy were still very angry, they were not the kind of people who would delay the game because of their mood, so they put their mood back and started to choose clothes. In the end, Bai Lu chose a laughing expression, Zhang Yuqi chose an angry expression, and Zhou Mandy chose an eye-rolling expression, and then put them on the outer clothes. Song Hongming had just sent someone to draw a circle with a diameter of about 10 meters, which was quite large, and the circle was circled with ropes, with dozens of colorful flags and countless small bells tied on it. As long as someone touches this line, everyone can see it clearly. With a whistle, the game begins. Zhong Mo carried Bai Lu on his back, and Deng Chao carried Zhang Yuqi on his back. They were about to attack, but suddenly they found that three other couples were rushing towards them from three different directions. This was arranged in advance. Chapter 78 Crisis Emerges. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhong Mo and Deng Chao looked at each other, their brows slightly furrowed. They had never expected that the other three couples would unite, which was not a good omen. If it was just Zhong Mo alone, he would not take 10 couples seriously, let alone 3 couples. However, he was still carrying Bai Lu on his back, holding the other's legs tightly with both hands, and he could not exert much strength at all. This move was really powerful. But admitting defeat was not Zhong Mo's character. Besides, the fourth level was 20,000 yuan, and there were 2 free accommodation coupons for 5-star hotels. Such a generous reward, how could he let others take it away? Zhong Mo's eyes instantly burst into a strong fighting spirit, and he used his hands to slightly force Bai Lu up again. While singing Heaven and Earth Dragon Scales, he looked at Deng Chao, and then made a thumbs-up gesture with his right hand. Deng Chao's eyes lit up, knowing that Zhong Mo challenged him, and instantly aroused his fighting spirit in his heart. He hummed an unknown song, laughed loudly, and then nodded vigorously. Isn't it just a competition? I am Deng Chao, the captain of Run, Brothers, and I am a strong person. How can I admit defeat easily? The fourth level is about the mutual cooperation between male and female couples, not the fighting power of boys, so his chances of winning are still very high. The two of them did not hesitate and quickly hid to the side. Zhong Mo dodged a black-faced man who rushed towards him, turned his head slightly, glanced at Bai Lu, then turned his head in a counterclockwise direction, and finally nodded vigorously. His meaning is very simple. Since these 3 groups can get here, their strength must be strong. They will definitely suffer if they confront each other head-on, so they have to implement guerrilla tactics, first exhaust the opponent, and then defeat them one by one. If it was in the morning, he would not dare to implement guerrilla tactics. After all, with a physical strength of 32, it is impossible to carry Bai Lu for 5 minutes. But now his physical strength has reached a terrifying 72. Not to mention 5 minutes, even 20 minutes is no problem, but others are different. If you carry a woman on your back and keep moving at high speed, and you have to keep singing, you will definitely not be able to hold on for long. Bai Lu did not expect that the two celebrity groups would be besieged by the other three groups. She became nervous. Her eyes stared straight ahead. She stuck to Zhong Mo's back and gently hugged his neck with both hands, regardless of how ambiguous their current postures were. Previously, she was facing millions of fans, so it was not good to show too much intimacy. Now that she has such a good opportunity, she wishes she could stick to Zhong Mo for the rest of her life and never separate. She put her mouth close to Zhong Mo's ear and whispered, "Zhong Mo, this black-faced man is very strong. He made 7 shots out of 10 in the 3rd round, which is better than Brother Chow and Brother Wu. He also performed well in the 1st and 2nd rounds, so you have to be careful." That she had been paying attention to the other contestants just now, and she was also very knowledgeable. Zhong Mo's mouth curled up slightly, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he nodded with interest. If his opponent was Deng Chao or Wu Jin, he would still show mercy and let him go, but the other party was just a stranger, so what was there to worry about? Besides, those who can get here are not ordinary people. Lions fight rabbits with all their strength. He doesn't want to capsize in the gutter. The black-faced man is about 30 years old, tall and strong, wearing a white vest, with his arms exposed, revealing strong muscles, and his skin is slightly rough. It is obvious that he does hard labor. He was carrying a woman of similar age, who looked average, but was much plumper than Bai Lu, weighing about 120 pounds. This meant that he had to use much more energy than Zhong Mo. The black-faced man knew that his disadvantage was obvious, but if he didn't eliminate Zhong Mo first, Zhong Mo would definitely be the winner in the end. He sang a patriotic song, a cold light flashed in his eyes, and he rushed towards Zhong Mo like a mad buffalo. The woman on his back also opened her hands, staring at Bai Lu with both eyes, ready to tear off her name tag at any time. Zhong Mo shrugged his shoulders, gave them a mocking smile, then turned around and ran away. Running away is shameful. Even less face than a loser. His advantage is terrifying strength and abundant physical strength. Why must he play to his strengths and avoid his weaknesses? Bai Lu hurriedly covered the name tag with her right hand, staring at the woman with both eyes, ready to take action. Seeing that Zhong Mo actually chose to run away, the black-faced man was slightly stunned, and then he became furious and chased after him. His opponent was Zhong Mo, and as for Bai Lu, a delicate girl, obviously just a vase, how could she be the opponent of his wife? Zhong Mo carried Bai Lu on his back, and kept singing Dragon Scales of Heaven and Earth repeatedly, while running in a circle at a moderate speed, and occasionally turned his head to look behind him, trying to keep a distance of 5 or 6 meters from the black-faced man. But just when he thought he had won, a tall and thin man next to him finally attacked. He kicked his legs hard, like thunder and lightning, and rushed to Zhong Mo in an instant. The woman on his back was quick-witted and opened her hands suddenly. One hand grabbed Bai Lu's right hand, and the other hand grabbed her name tag fiercely. "Ah, don't." Bai Lu was frightened and screamed. Zhong Mo saw that the situation was not good, and his body suddenly flashed to the side. The woman missed her grasp instantly, but Bai Lu's right hand was still held by her, and her whole body immediately floated in the air. If Zhong Mo hadn't held her legs tightly, she would have fallen to the ground, but even so, Bai Lu's situation was not much better. If the woman let go of Bai Lu's right hand, her upper body would fall to the ground and she would be eliminated. Sure enough. Seeing that Bai Lu's name tag was not torn off, the woman's eyes flashed with a cold light, and her right hand suddenly let go of Bai Lu. Although Zhong Mo and Bai Lu were high-ranking stars, these people came for the bonus, so how could they let them go? 20,000 yuan. Many ordinary people can't make so much money even if they work hard for half a year. Big star. Bullshit. You can make thousands every year, live in villas and drive luxury cars worth millions or tens of millions, but you still shamelessly come here to snatch these small amounts of money from us. Damn it. This is the basis for the 3 groups to unite to deal with Zhong Mo, Bai Lu, Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi first. Because they are ordinary people, they have a natural hostility to these well-fed and well-clothed big stars. Where has Bai Lu ever encountered such a dangerous scene? She was so scared that her face turned pale and her voice became out of tune. If her upper body fell to the ground, it would not be as simple as being eliminated. It is very likely that her face would hit the concrete floor, which would be a big trouble. If she was disfigured, it would really affect her future career. Chapter 79. This is my first kiss. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this critical moment, Zhong Mo suddenly let go of Bai Lu's legs, then turned over and faced up. Bang! Bai Lu fell heavily on Zhong Mo, her whole face pressed against his neck, and her sweet lips kissed him fiercely. Moreover, Zhong Mo took advantage of the situation and held her tightly in his arms. Not only did he not hurt her, but also did not let her body touch the ground. It was just that their postures were a little ambiguous. It turned out to be the legendary earth-covering sky. Since her debut, Bai Lu had encountered such a dangerous scene for the first time. She was immediately scared to death, her face turned pale, her brain was blank, her heart was beating wildly, and she forgot the surrounding situation. The black-faced man and the tall and thin man were also stunned. How could they have thought that Zhong Mo could change his fate in this situation? Although they were also shocked by the thrilling scene just now, seeing Zhong Mo and Bai Lu hugging each other tightly, with ambiguous postures, as if they were ready to do something, they suddenly felt sour in their hearts, and their anger broke out again. Spicy next door. Why can you hug and kiss big stars and play ambiguity, but we can only marry ordinary women with average looks? Isn't it just more handsome than us? It's so unfair. Thinking of this, they looked at each other, and then kicked the ground with their legs, rushing towards Zhong Mo. Now Zhong Mo was lying on the ground, and Bai Lu was lying in his arms. This was the time when their defense was the most vulnerable, if not now, when Zhong Mo didn't expect that the posture of the two was so ambiguous, and when Bai Lu's lips were pressed against his neck, he instantly felt an electric shock, and even his nostrils were lingering with the faint fragrance of a girl on her body, which made him unable to help but be distracted and daydreaming. However, after his physical fitness was greatly improved, his premonition of danger was also improved a lot. He immediately felt 4 murderous auras sweeping towards him, and when he looked up, he saw 2 groups of contestants rushing towards him from the left and right. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, revealing a sinister smile. Don't you want to unite against me? Then I will disappoint you. He raised his feet and stomped on the ground. He hugged Bai Lu and rushed to the back quickly like skating, just avoiding the siege of the 2 groups of contestants. The black-faced and thin man didn't expect Zhong Mo to react so quickly and dodge in this situation. They were slightly stunned. Where did this little fresh meat come from? This strength is too terrifying, right? No wonder he can pass 3 levels in a row, and his performance is the best among all the contestants, but just let them escape. How is this possible? Absolutely unwilling. They hummed songs randomly in their mouths, accelerated suddenly, and rushed over again. Zhong Mo had taken advantage of this gap, bent his legs, stomped on the ground, and stood up straight. He patted Bai Lu's right arm gently, and seeing that the other party was still in a state of confusion, he immediately made up his mind, gently abandoned Bai Lu with both hands, then raised his arms high, grabbed the other party's 2 small hands, and carried her on his back again. It takes a lot of words to describe this scene, but from Bai Lu to being in Zhong Mo's arms to now, it's only been more than 20 seconds. Ah, Zhong Mo, is my face disfigured? Bai Lu came back to her senses at this time, her face full of fear, and she shouted desperately. Zhong Mo could only sing, not speak, and could only turn his head, give her a reassuring look, and then run away. Because he found that the 2 groups were already rushing towards him, Bai Lu looked at Zhong Mo's handsome face and charming smile, and the tension and uneasiness in her heart gradually stabilized. The things that happened just now immediately emerged in her mind, making her shy, moved, and warm in her heart. How could she have thought that the sudden change would make her kiss Zhong Mo's neck? Although she has filmed several TV series, and there are kissing scenes in them, those are all misplaced, not real. It can be said that this is her first kiss. Although it's not the mouth, it also has extraordinary significance. However, thinking of how Zhong Mo turned the tide and reversed the defeat with his own strength, her eyes instantly turned red. If it weren't for her poor performance, he would definitely not have fought so hard, right? Thinking of this, the slight dissatisfaction in her heart because of Zhao Jingmai's disruption disappeared instantly. My man is too good, too easy to attract bees and butterflies. Can this be blamed on him? He is innocent. Zhong Mo naturally didn't know that Bai Lu had thought of so many things in just a few seconds, and his attention was always on the two contestants. While walking them slowly, he looked towards Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi, but he didn't expect that Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi also encountered some troubles. Although their opponents were only one group of contestants, they were obviously not good people. The other party was a young man and woman around 25 or 26 years old. They looked good, but from the tattoos on their arms and the exaggerated and revealing clothes they wore, it can be seen that they were not serious people. When they faced Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi, they used all kinds of dirty tricks such as stepping on their feet, hitting their chests with their heads, and even hitting Deng Chao's abdomen with their knees. As for the young girl, she even pulled Zhang Yuqi's hair without caring about anything. If Zhang Yuqi hadn't dodged quickly, I'm afraid her black hair would have been stripped off by her. But even so, she had more than a dozen hairs pulled out, and she gasped several times in pain, her mouth twitching. If it wasn't for protecting her image, I'm afraid she would have already cursed, even if it was the name tag tearing and run. Brothers, everyone just pulled clothes and arms, how could they be so rude? Don't you know that hair is a woman's second life? Deng Chao was tortured by their gangster moves and almost had a mental breakdown and almost cried. What can he do? After all, this is just an informal game, and it is normal to have some physical contact when passing the level. If he complained to the other party for this reason, wouldn't it make him look petty? How would everyone look at him? So besides carrying Zhang Yuqi on his back, avoiding the other party's frontal attack, and running around in circles, what else can he do? I can't beat you, can't I just run? However, his strength and stamina were obviously not comparable to Zhong Mo's, so he was already out of breath after only running 2 or 3 laps, and his speed was much slower than before. When the young man saw Deng Chao slowing down, a flash of ecstasy flashed in his eyes, and he rushed over directly. Bah! That he suddenly opened his mouth and spat a mouthful of thick phlegm at Deng Chao. Deng Chao almost went crazy. You can use other gangster tricks, but why do you use this one? Isn't it too bullying? He hurriedly carried Zhang Yuqi on his back and hid to the side. The young girl took advantage of their unstable lower body, grabbed Zhang Yuqi's clothes, and pushed her hard out of the circle. Chapter 80 Can't Afford to Lose. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh, no, how could Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi have thought that the other party would attack from the east and west? Caught off guard, their bodies had already stumbled out of the circle, their faces turned pale instantly, and they couldn't help screaming. Dang dang dang. Zhang Yuqi's back was close to the bells, and there were bursts of crisp sounds. Just when the two of them thought they would be eliminated, a small hand suddenly stretched out from the side, stuck to Zhang Yuqi's back, and pushed forward with force. The two of them stumbled forward 2 steps and returned to the circle. Finally, they were not eliminated. Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi were both frightened and scared. They looked to the side with lingering fear and laughed immediately. Who else could help them except Zhong Mo and Bai Lu? Bai Lu also waved her fist at the two of them fiercely and shouted, Brother Chao, Sister Yuqi, come on. Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi felt warm in their hearts and were moved. They and Zhong Mo Bai Lu were also rivals. They could have stood aside and watched the fight, but they helped him at the critical moment. This friendship was really rare. Zhong Mo Bai Lu, we will work hard, be careful behind you. Zhang Yuqi had just said half of the words when her face suddenly changed. She pointed behind them and shouted loudly. It turned out that the black-faced man and the tall and thin man took advantage of Zhong Mo Bai Lu helping Deng Chao and Zhang Yuqi to sneak behind them and wanted to force them out of this circle. Zhong Mo turned his body suddenly, like a small whirlwind, and squeezed through the middle of their 2 groups of members, and the fierce impact almost threw them to the ground. Since these 3 groups of contestants have begun to use all means, there is no need for him to show mercy. Swish. Seeing that everyone was working so hard, how could Bai Lu let everyone down? So she took advantage of the moment when she squeezed through the 2 groups of contestants and the other party was caught off guard. She quickly grabbed the woman's name tag on the black-faced man's back and tore it off fiercely. Du Peng, Guo Shuaing, eliminated. Song Hongming had been standing outside the circle, watching the 5 groups of contestants tearing off each other's name tags with a nervous face, but he didn't expect that. He guessed the beginning but not the end. How could he have thought that these people would become so crazy for a mere 20,000 yuan and 2 free accommodation coupons for a 5-star hotel? If an accidental injury really happened, I'm afraid that today's competition would be overshadowed by a bad shadow, but fortunately, with Zhong Mo here, everything is under control. Although he wanted to eliminate Zhong Mo and Bai Lu before, the more he sees Zhong Mo, the more he likes him. Instead, he hopes that he can pass the 5th level and give himself a full house. When he saw Bai Lu tearing the name tag successfully, he immediately shouted with a face. The black-faced man and the woman on his back didn't expect that they would be the first to be eliminated, and they lost to Zhong Mo and Bai Lu. They were so angry and frustrated, he roared at Zhong Mo and Bai Lu angrily, "You big stars are so worthless. You only know how to bully us ordinary people. I will fight you." After saying this, he actually lowered his head slightly and hit Zhong Mo's chest hard. "Zhong Mo, be careful." Bai Lu didn't expect that the other party couldn't afford to lose. His face changed drastically and he screamed. Zhong Mo's mouth curled up slightly, and the smile on his face instantly became much colder. "What's wrong with big stars? Should big stars give in to you and let you bully them? What kind of bullshit is this?" He was really angry this time. "We passed the level by our own ability, not by the back door." Zhong Mo quickly dodged to the side, then raised his right foot and kicked Du Peng's but without any hesitation. Ouch! Du Peng had never expected that Zhong Mo would kick him in the butt. He immediately lost his balance and staggered outside. He first bumped into the bell on the rope, making a clang-clang sound, and then a thump sound. The 2 of them fell heavily to the ground, a typical dog eating shit. You dare to kick people? Mr. Song, they violated the rules and should be eliminated." Du Peng and Guo Shuaing got up from the ground in disgrace and roared indignantly, "Even if we are eliminated, we will drag you down with us." But who knew that Song Hongming looked at them with a sneer on his face? Violation. Who violated the rules? You 2 have been eliminated, but you still want to hit Zhong Mo with your body. What does this mean? You are all adults, and you can't afford to lose a game. Aren't you afraid of being looked down upon? I hit him with my body, so what? Du Peng was blushing and angry, like a pig liver, and said unreasonably, "He is so strong and in such a good body, it doesn't matter if I hit him once. Besides, they are stars, what's wrong with letting us? So strong. So good. It doesn't matter if you hit him once. What's wrong with letting you?" Song Hongming laughed as if he heard the funniest joke in the world. "Let everyone hear this. Is this what an adult should say? If you can't afford to lose, don't participate in this competition. Since it is a competition, it must be fair and just." Oh, these 2 people are simply embarrassing us leeching people. I feel ashamed. Yeah, just now the 2 groups of people besieged Zhong Mo and used some despicable means. Zhong Mo didn't say anything. In the end, they obviously lost, but they hit him with their bodies. Now they are deliberately looking for trouble. They are such a jerk. Our leeching people are simple and kind-hearted. How could there be these 2 weirdos? So I suggest checking their household registration. They are definitely not locals. We definitely can't produce such people in leeching. They can't even afford to lose a game. It's obvious that they are not good people in their daily lives. Countless people around them accused Du Peng and Guo Shuaing, and the contempt in their eyes could not be concealed. Du Peng and Guo Shuaing saw that everyone didn't help them, but helped their stars. They were so angry that they trembled all over. They pointed at them and shouted, You don't help your own people, but help a few stars. You. We don't help relatives in the gang. Who made you lose face for our leeching?" That everyone shouted in unison. Song Hongming waved his hands impatiently and shouted, come on, drive them out, don't disturb us from continuing the game, and don't let them step into Yida Plaza in the future. Yes, a dozen security guards rushed over and dragged Du Yupeng and Guoshuang away regardless of their resistance. The tall and thin man saw that everyone's attention was on Du Yupeng and Guoshuang, and he was ecstatic. He immediately used all his strength to hit Zhong Mo and Bai Lu hard.